What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ariel, and welcome back to another video. If you like the hoodie, follow the link in the description below, and you'll be able to get this hoodie, as I am now a brand ambassador for God the Father. So shout out to everybody at God the Father for giving me this opportunity to represent the brand. They got hoodies, shirts, Christian apparel. So be sure to check it out. Check out the link below, as your boy is now a brand ambassador. Much appreciated. But today's video is titled 10 Reasons Why People Are Church Hurt, right? 10 reasons why people are church hurt and or hurt by the church, and then they end up leaving the church based on their past experiences with the church, with members of the church, family members, the Bible, and their connection with God himself, the Almighty. So there's a lot of different reasons why people are church hurt, and we're going to get into the top 10 reasons why I believe people are church hurt. Then I'm going to do another video on how you can get over being church hurt, how you can get back to the Most High, and how you can heal spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Because that's what it's all about, man. As Christians, that's what we're supposed to be here doing. We're supposed to be here healing, helping people grow, bringing people back to the Most High, right? Gathering the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what we're supposed to do, right? So I made this video because a lot of people are suffering, man. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people's houses are burning down. And when I say your house is burning down, that's another way of me giving you a mind picture, right? So that you can make sense of what I'm talking about, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Again, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and people think in pictures. So if you can put it in a picture form, it will be more helpful for you to remember it. If you can put it in picture form, it will resonate with you more. If you can put it in picture form, people will start to get more of an understanding. They'll start to gravitate towards what you're saying because they can visualize it, right? When you think of apple pie, you don't think of the letters APPLEPIE, right? That's apple pie. You think of baked good with apples in the middle, cinnamon, sugar, crust, coming out the oven on a plate with some ice cream, right? That's what you think of when you think of apple pie. And when you dream, you don't dream in letters, right? You don't dream about, millions of dollars and dream about the letters MILLION. That's not how it works, right? We are, picture-oriented people. We are visualization people. So we think in pictures, right? So without further ado, we're going to get into it. And this is no particular order, right? We just going in from 10 to 1 to 10. However it is, there's not one particular reason why one is better than another. We're just giving you 10 reasons why people are church hurt, right? And one of the reasons why people are church hurt is because they have been hurt by a pastor, a deacon, a church member, a family member, who say they believe in Christ, right? They've been traumatized by their experience with a believer in Christ, or someone in the church, or someone who is an authority figure, hurt them some way. They either hurt their feelings, they either were, sexually abused, they were intellectually abused or emotionally abused. They felt belittled. They felt like they could not be genuine. They felt like they could not be themselves and be accepted, right? People want to be accepted. So somewhere along the line in their life's journey, someone hurt their feelings really bad and it traumatized them, right? People have different levels of sensitivity, and some people have been hurt by, a authority figure or somebody in a position of power, the pastor or deacon, the dad, mom, something along the line hurt them, and they started to resent the Most High. They started to resent Christ. They started to think, why can this person hurt me? But yet they say they love me, and yet they are also in the Bible. They're in church, right? They're holier than thou. They're righteous. They are the saints, and they have no sin, right? Jesus saved them from the sin. So they felt like that hurt, that trauma that they felt, traumatized them to the point where they put down God, they put down the Bible, and they put down church, right? So reason number two, people are church hurt because they feel like the church is full of hypocrites. They feel like the church members, right? You're getting drunk on Saturday, you're smoking weed on Friday, it's Thirsty Thursday, You cursing, acting a fool all throughout the week. And then when it come to church, you got your church suit on, you got your church dress on, and you holier than thou. You walking into church feeling like you all high and mighty because Jesus saved you from your sin. But yet you go out and practice all of these worldly practices, and there's no sign of God. There's no sign of Christ. There's no sign of church in your characteristics except on Sunday. But here's the thing. That's one day of the week. They see you 6 days of the week, 7 days of the week, 5 days of the week. And they see that you acting secular. They see that you're not practicing what you preach. So the hypocrisy pushes people away, because you might say you believe the Bible, but you don't be the Bible, right? You just read the Bible on Sundays, maybe. Then most people don't even read their word. They just go to church on Sunday and listen to the pastor give the word, but they don't go home, pick up the Bible study with their children, Bible studies with their wives before bed. So that spirit of the Most High is not on them, and that spirit of hypocrisy is too strong, and people are very, have a good intuition. So people can feel things without seeing them. So if they can feel that hypocrisy on you, if they can feel that your actions aren't lining up with your words, and then they can see it, you've just confirmed to them that you're not real, you're not legit, you're not genuine. So they're like, I'm not about to be around a bunch of hypocrites, right? So that's the second reason why people are church hurt. The third reason why people are church hurt is because they learn some information, right? From the world, family member, friend, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. They learned some information, and they started to question the biblical information that they were getting. And when they brought it to their pastor, when they brought it to their teacher, when they brought it to their leader, someone in the church of authority, with someone with some power, they were not skillful in the word enough to teach them the proper understanding and to help give them information on what they had questions about. So then once they realized my questions can't be answered, when they started to realize this person doesn't have the knowledge or the historical evidence or the understanding, that they realize that this place is not for them because the people aren't skillful in their knowledge. They're not smart enough. They are not equipped enough to deal with the questions that they have. So they have a lot of questions unanswered. And then they're not skillful enough. They're not tactful enough to answer the questions up to their level of understanding. So they feel like this is an insufficient amount of evidence when it comes to the question I'm answering. So therefore, I'm not going to rock with that. I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because you can't even answer my questions. Like, your information is low level, and they're looking for high level information. They're looking for tact. They're looking for substantiate a ton of substantial information to help them answer their biblical questions, right? As we grow in the word, we start to ask questions. We start to get curious. We start to learn new information. So we want our questions answered so that people can get a good understanding and not feel like they don't know what's going on. They feel like there's a lot of gaps. They feel like there is a lot of misunderstanding, right? They want understanding. They want truth. They want wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And they don't want no excuses, and they don't want no insufficient evidence. They want sufficient evidence to prove their point, right? So that was reason number 3. Reason number 4, people are church hurt, right? People are church hurt because, people are church hurt because there's too much preaching and not enough activism. Too much preaching and not enough activism. People are human. They want to do things, right? We are human beings who want to be active. So if the church is just preaching, and they feel like they're just being preached at, they feel like they're not being, they're not having enough engagement, enough activity, not enough work being done. They feel like they can do that at home. They feel like they can do that by themselves. So they feel like they don't really need the church, right? Because the church is not active enough in the community. The church is not active enough in politics. The church is not active enough in worldly affairs, right? The church is not active enough in education. The church is not active enough in getting people jobs. The church is not active enough in helping people be entrepreneurs. People come to church looking for more than just the word. People are coming to church looking for a community, but all they're doing is getting preaching. So that's another reason why people are church hurt. And reason number 5, their parents lied to them. Their parents lied to them about church, Their parents lied to them about some biblical things. They gave them some misinformation. The kids thought it was a lie, right? The kids was like, this is not true. They found some other information from a friend, social media, tons of information, right? And they start, questioning things, and their parents couldn't answer them, so they just start lying. So when they just start lying, and these kids realize that, these people are just lying, they lose interest in God, they lose interest in the Bible, they lose interest in the church because they're just being lied to. So we got to make sure that if we don't know something, we research it. We got to make sure that we send them to someone who can help them, who is more informed, so that we don't just be lying, because people don't like being lied to. Once they find out they're like being lied to, they lose their trust. They felt like they was taken advantage of, right? And nobody wants to feel that way. So that's another reason why people are church hurt. Reason number 6 is another religion or another spirituality is more trendy, right? It's just more trendy. People are our followers, man. Not a lot of people are natural born leaders. So if you're not a natural born leader, you might be a natural born follower. So if something is trendy, if something is more cool, if it's more flashy, if it's more accepted, if it's more up to date, you don't want to stand out from the crowd. You want to blend in with the crowd. So you make sure that you start to follow these other religions. You start to practice these other religions. You start to incorporate these other things into your belief because you want to be accepted. You want to be a part of the crowd. You don't want to stand out. So that's when people start to get church hurt, because they're bringing these other religions in. And it's like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, well, if I can't do that, I'd rather just blend in over here. I'd rather be accepted over here. Then they resent the church for not accepting them. And then they become church hurt because they picked up another religion. They was conned into, believing that some other religion was more powerful or more informational or more transformational, right? So they just start taking all this information, and they really wasn't skilled in the scriptures. So they start to be resentful because now the church isn't accepting them. And now they're not accepted. So they're like, I don't want to go to church. They don't accept me there. They don't accept my beliefs. They don't accept that I don't accept the full Bible, right? So that's another reason why people are church hurt. Reason number 7 is they couldn't understand the word. People are church hurt because they do not understand the word. So if the word is locked to their minds, if the word is not making sense to them, if the word is being preached at them and they're not understanding it, they're like, why would I stay here if I don't understand the Bible, if it doesn't make sense to me and no one can make it make sense to me? I'd rather just go on about my business and do something else and never come back, even though the information may make sense now. They're too hurt, or they have too much ego. They have too much pride to say, you know what, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I want to practice the faith again. They just rather stay in their feelings, stay in their ego, instead of apologizing and making up for it and doing right and repenting. They rather just stay on the path that they already on, because they don't want to look bad. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want to feel ashamed. They don't want to feel embarrassed, right? So they feel like they can't open up and be vulnerable because people are going to take advantage of them. So ultimately, in the end, they get church hurt because they could not understand the Bible. They just couldn't understand the Bible. Reason number 8 is science started to be more appealing. Science started to sway the minds of the masses. People start moving away from the scriptures and people start moving towards science because they feel like science is more real. Science is something that they can control. They can see it, touch it, taste it, feel it. And we know that with the Most High, you can't touch him, see him, taste him right now because he's away from us, but we can still feel his presence and all of that. But people want more tangible evidence. There's a lot of intangible evidence with the Most High and tangible evidence with the Most High as well, but it has to be properly broken down to them for them to understand. But science goes based on what you can see, touch, taste, feel, or hear, right? It goes by the 5 senses. It goes by tangible evidence. So they're like, yo, I'm going to rely more on science because I can see it, touch it, taste it, feel it, and hear it. So they start to rely too much on science, and that's what makes them go away from the scriptures, because most churches try to not mix science and the scriptures together, even though at one point in time, science and religion were the same thing, right? Science explains how the world is, how life is, why we do what we do. The Bible explains what the world is, how life is, why we do what we do. At one point in time in history, science and religion was the exact same thing. Religion was science and science was religion. But somewhere along the line, they got twisted, they got set apart. And now people think that they're opposites when really they're intertwined, they coexist, right? So that was reason number 8. Reason number 9 is that the parents lied to them, pastor lied to them, pastor couldn't explain the text. Another religion was more trendy. They was right. Number 9 is they was conned by another religion because they made, like, for example, Kemet or Islam or Buddhism, right? They started to pick up the doctrines from these other religions, and they started to realize that, oh, these doctrines are better than these Christian doctrines. So they've allowed the spiritual leader to miseducate them and think that they had to put the scriptures down because these other religions were better. So people just choose a different religion, right? That's why people put the Bible down, because they feel like another religion make more sense. Another religion, it resonates with them more. So that's why they leave the church and they become church hurt, because they feel like, you know, this other religion makes more sense, right? We did too much preaching, not enough community. And, oh, right, the last one, number 10, is they had a need the church couldn't meet, right? They had a need the church couldn't meet. So people have different wants and needs in life, and they come to the church for answers. And if the church cannot provide those answers, like we talked about, if the church can't provide jobs, if the church can't provide entrepreneurship, the church can't provide education, they can't provide daycare, they can't provide healthcare, they can't provide love, they can't provide community, a ton of reasons that whatever the reason your church couldn't provide for them, they had a need and the church couldn't provide it. So people leave because they did not get their needs met. People want their needs met. People are impatient. So if the church can't provide everything they need in that moment, they start to resent this church. They start to become church hurt, and eventually they leave the church, right? So that is all 10 reasons. I'm going to go over the list one more time. Here's the top 10 reasons why people are church hurt. Number 1, parents lied to them. Number 2, the pastor lied to them. Number 3, the pastor couldn't explain the text. Number 4, religion/spirituality was trendy, right? Number 5, they was conned by a smooth talking man or woman. Number 6, family member/church member traumatized them. Number 7, they couldn't understand the Bible. Number 8, science was more believable. Number 9, they had a need the church couldn't meet. And number 10, too much preaching, not enough activism. So those are the top 10 reasons why people are church hurt, okay? It's your boy Ariel. Remember, I'm now a brand ambassador at God the Father, so go to godthefather.com. Check out the Christian apparel. That's where this hoodie is from. They also have shirts, and I'm going to leave my link down below. So if you buy something on my link, I do get a percentage of it. So I appreciate you guys for the support. If you like the apparel, this is Christian apparel, as you can see. God the Father is the brand. It's the hoodie, okay? Also, check out my book, The Student Success Mindset, on arielmerch.com. And be sure to share this video with a family member or a friend. I'm going to leave a link down below to everything that I'm talking about if you guys want to check it out. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Also, Twitter as well. I got to get my Twitter followers up. But I appreciate you guys for watching. If you like this video, please share it with a family member or friend. It's your boy Ariel. You guys have a great rest of the day. Peace.